Love X Revenge, where passion burns, secrets bleed, and every love story hides a twist sharp enough to cut the heart. The entire city knew the name Adrian Locke, billionaire hotel magnate, ruthless negotiator, emotionally unreachable. But behind the polished marble walls of his penthouse lived the only two beings who could crack his iron mask, his 6-year-old twins, Ethan and Ella. Beautiful, bright-eyed, and completely silent. They hadn't spoken a word since the night their mother disappeared without a trace. Doctors called it trauma-induced mutism. Therapists said it would take years. Adrian blamed himself, though he would never admit that aloud. He tried everything. The world's best child psychologists, behavioral therapists, speech experts, private tutors. But nothing worked, until the day the new cleaning lady arrived. Her name was Mara Hayes, and she entered the penthouse for the first time wearing a plain uniform and carrying a mop, her shoulders a bit tense as the head housekeeper introduced her. "This is the master suite. Don't touch the children's things," the woman said stiffly. "Mr. Locke requires complete silence in his home." Mara nodded, but her eyes drifted to the twins sitting on the living room rug, Ethan building a half-broken robot, Ella drawing circles on a sheet of paper. Silent, still, like small ghosts living in a world with no sound. Something in Mara's chest tightened. The housekeeper continued giving orders, but the moment she stepped away, Mara crouched down, slow, gentle, and whispered softly. "Hi there." The twins didn't look at her. But they heard her. Mara felt it. She didn't say anything else. She simply smiled, placed her cleaning cloth on the floor, and began wiping the table, humming a gentle melody, soft, warm, almost like a lullaby. And that was the moment Adrian Locke walked in. "What is happening here?" His voice boomed across the room, and the twins immediately stiffened. Ethan's hands froze over his robot. Ella dropped her crayon. Mara stood up quickly, heart pounding. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to disturb. You were humming." Adrian stepped closer, eyes cold but exhausted, like a man carrying a lifetime of nights without sleep. "There is no humming in my house. There is no noise. Are we understood?" "Yes, sir," Mara said quietly. He turned away, but something flickered in his gaze, something she didn't understand yet. For the first week, Mara kept her promise. Silent cleaning, silent movements, silent presence. But she watched the children closely. How Ella traced the same circle 100 times. How Ethan built and rebuilt the same broken robot, always stopping at the same stuck gear. They weren't silent out of choice. They were trapped, and Mara knew something about being trapped. On the 8th day, when the head housekeeper sent her upstairs to clean the playroom, Mara found the twins sitting by the big window, staring outside at the rain. She sat on the carpet a few feet away. Very softly, she tapped the floor twice with her fingers. Tap, tap. Ella's eyes shifted. Tap, tap, tap. Ethan blinked. Then, slowly, Ella tapped her crayon on the paper twice. Mara smiled. A small, fragile victory. Later, when she was about to leave the room, she whispered, "Thank you." Behind her, the faintest sound came, a breath. Not a word, but a breath. They were listening. Adrian found her again, this time sitting cross-legged on the carpet as the twins watched her from behind a tower of blocks. "What?" Adrian said sharply. "Exactly, are you doing?" Mara stood up, flustered. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't touch them. I didn't pressure them. I was just..." "You're a cleaning lady, not a therapist. Do not engage with my children." His jaw tightened. "They've been through more than you can imagine. So have other people," she whispered before she could stop herself. His eyes narrowed. For the first time, he looked at her, really looked at her. "What do you mean by that?" "Nothing, sir," she said quickly. "I'll get back to work." But something had changed. He didn't scold her again. He simply left, slower this time, watching her from the corner of his eye. The breakthrough happened by accident. Mara was polishing one of the hallway mirrors when she heard a soft crash, Ethan's robot falling apart again. The boy's small face twisted with frustration, his fists shaking. Mara knelt beside him carefully. "May I?" she asked. He didn't speak. He didn't even look at her. But his fingers unclenched. Gently, she took the robot into her hands, and without a word, she fixed the stuck gear. Ethan's eyes widened. Ella came closer. Mara placed the robot back in his lap. And then, so quietly that she thought she imagined it, Ella whispered, "Thank you." A single word. Ethan turned toward his sister, stunned. Mara's throat tightened, tears burning her eyes. It was the first word Ella had spoken in 2 years. "Ella," Mara whispered, trembling. Ethan suddenly grabbed her sleeve. His voice cracked out, small and raspy, like a bird learning to sing again. "Help, robot." 2 words. Mara covered her mouth, trying not to cry, because if she cried, they might stop, might retreat, might think they did something wrong. So instead she smiled, eyes glowing through the tears. "You two are amazing," she whispered. And somewhere down the hall, Adrian froze at the sound of his children's voices echoing softly up the marble staircase. Dash dash dash. He burst into the playroom, chest heaving. "Ethan, Ella," he gasped. The twins turned to him. And for the first time in years, they didn't shrink back. They stood. They ran. Right into his arms. Ethan pressed his face against his father's shoulder. Ella gripped his shirt with tiny trembling hands. Adrian held them tightly, the world collapsing around him. Then he lifted his tear-filled eyes to Mara. "How?" he whispered. Mara shook her head. "I didn't force anything. I just listened. And they trusted me." "Why?" His voice cracked. "Why would they trust you? Why would you help strangers this way?" "Because I know what silence feels like," Mara said quietly. "I grew up in it." Adrian took a step toward her. In that moment, he saw something he had never noticed before, the strength she hid behind gentle smiles, the pain she carried with steady hands. "Mara," he whispered, "you've done for my children what no expert in the world could do." "I didn't do anything extraordinary," she said. "You brought them back to me." His voice shook. "To life." The twins clung to him, but their eyes stayed on Mara. Trusting. Open. Safe. And then Ella did something no one expected. She walked to Mara, tugged the hem of her uniform, and whispered, "Stay." Just one word. But it changed everything. Adrian's breath hitched. "Mara, would you consider staying here permanently? Not as a cleaning lady. As someone important to them." And he hesitated, for the first time in his life unsure of the right words. "Someone important to me." Mara's heart raced. "Sir, I don't know if I'm." "You are," he cut in gently. "You're exactly what this house needs. What we need." Ethan nodded. Ella reached for Mara's hand. And for the first time since the night their mother vanished, the penthouse didn't feel like a tomb. It felt like a beginning. Dash dash dash. But beginnings come with shadows. And as Mara agreed to stay, neither she nor Adrian knew that the twins' mother, alive, dangerous, and full of vengeance, was about to return. And she would stop at nothing to reclaim the family she abandoned. Even if she had to destroy Mara to do it. Love X Revenge. Where every reunion hides a secret, and every secret demands its price.